Feels good. Opening up sacred space. Opening up a sacred space and a sacred portal where we can come in and share from our heart these beautiful energies that are coming through us in this beautiful Shasta Galactica energy that's coming through that we can share with people about this energy that's coming in and in a clear and integritous way. Mm. Calling on our guides to come in and be able to talk smooth through us and really bring forth these energies that we've been called to bring into existence through Telos, through the Pleiadians, through the Lemurians, through our galactic family. Hey.
So it is, and so it is.
Aho, aho. So we thought we'd come in and just share. We've been creating and talking and sharing about this beautiful energy. Tell us. Tell us all about it, Sierra.
I was just thinking that. Tell us all about it.
Tell us something we don't really know.
Yeah, so Shasta, I've been so drawn to for much of my life, beginning with the end of a huge, huge chapter for me. And the seed was a bottle of Shasta water that a sister brought me in a really, really tough time in my life. And from that moment on, I shed tears and knew that that was where I needed to go. And I really took my first like big leap into the unknown, like as a woman, and on my way to Shasta and found my way there. And just the lands, the mountain is a temple. It's a living temple, and it has been since it's been on Earth, and it's been holding a lot of space for the planet and for the new Earth codes. It's one of, if not the first place that receives these codes for the Earth and then disperses them. And it's also been called the root chakra point of the Earth, which I also can see and feel very much so. So it's a really, the energy is very space and star ethereal, but it's also very, very grounded and grounding. And so it's like that bridge,
Right?
And yeah, the water, the living water there, it's such a gift to receive that into our bodies and to get to bless that and send it off into the world and down the Sacramento River. And yeah, I just
Yeah, I'm so
feels
not
right.
surprised to hear you saying that, you jumped off of an initiation, so to speak, once a sister gave you the water because, whoa, that water is so profound and how it just comes right out of that mountain. And yeah, and I'm really excited that we'll be able to go and, bring some blessings to those headwaters. We're planning some field trips for this Shasta Galactica, and one of those is to go to those headwaters. And those waters are just so incredible. It's that pristine, crystalline, high frequency vibe that comes right out of the womb, it feels like,
Yeah.
It's so good.
Beautiful.
Oh my gosh. And I've been, like I've been having more like galactic energy in my life, definitely this last year. And so it's very exciting that all of a sudden this is now being called in to be able to share in a ceremony atmosphere and help deepen our own connections to our highest frequency and how we're showing up in the world and being able to help other people connect to their own power in that way. And I missed the last conversation that we'd had about this, so I wanted to ask you, Sierra, how that kind of came into sort of like an inspiration for this ceremony.
So for me, it just honestly feels like a perfect culmination of all the things, like going from having many initiations on Mount Shasta and living in the woods there for a little while, to coming onto the path with the medicine the last few years, and now, you know, stepping into that facilitation space. And also, you know, the ways in which I found my voice while on the mountain were really deep and profound in a way that was so true to like my soul and the mission. You know, it was like those codes started coming through. And so to get to return to that, and it just feels full circle, and to get to hold that space for others to tap in feels really right. And yeah, the Lemurian energies are strong, and the Pleiadian energies are strong there as well. And yeah, I share something with you guys that I
Yeah.
experienced last night? So last night, so I kind of shared with you, I've been having a pretty emotional last couple days, and last night in the middle of the night I woke up and I felt this sense of unsafety in my body. And so I asked my Pleiadian star family to just protect me, and just to hold me and protect me. And maybe 20 minutes later, I felt and could see in my mind's eye the presence of like this little Pleiadian or like little alien being that was behind my back with a little light right behind my heart, holding this light. And it was like this, he was just like had my back, and he was super cute, and we're just holding this soft, gentle light. And it felt so beautiful to receive that. And yeah, I just wanted to, it was like really new for me. It was really beautiful.
That's gorgeous. Yeah, I got your back, sis. That's what that feels like.
We're so held.
We really are. And I think that, you know, as we start thinking about these activations and really thinking about how we commune in these higher frequencies, in these other dimensions, and how, you know, we are able to access the information just simply by asking, and also raising our own frequency. And I think that, you know, a lot of people ask me about all of the beings that we see in ceremony. Is that a figment of our imagination? Is that, you know, are we just tripping, or what, you know, what is that? You know, who are these beings that show up? And I feel that really in the medicine, what is happening is that we're pulling back the veils or the conditioning and all of the things that kind of block us from being in our highest frequency. And then, yes, we can access these different dimensions. We can access these varying timelines. And yes, we are able to see and communicate with all different kinds of beings. And had you had to ask me, you know, 5, 10 years ago, you know, about light language, or, you know, I would have been like, you know, I'm not really sure. And even truthfully, when the light language started coming through me, I was even questioning, you know, like, what is this? What is it? It's a beautiful frequency that I feel and I can access, and it feels right in my mouth as it's coming out, but I don't have any idea what the heck this is. You know, we're just that channel that's coming through. And it started out for me in a seventh dimension collectiveness of, you know, like a hive mind of the ascended masters and the angelic beings. And then we started getting into different dimensions of star beings coming in and really helping us so that we could upgrade our frequencies in our DNA, upgrade and also activate. And when we say activate, what I'm understanding in all of that is that we already have the codes.
Mm.
We have all of it, you know, whatever those codes are that raises our frequency. So now it's just a matter of us being able to turn them on and cue them up, right?
Right. And remove the self-judgers, all the blocks, you know, the
All the
doubts, and
conditioning, all
just
the
to
bullshit.
trust. It just reveals trust. Like we are naturally, we trust everything, like a child trusts. So it's like
Right?
removing everything so that that flow of creation can just flow freely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's
And I
Yeah.
don't know about you guys, but wow, coming out of, last year being the year of the tiger, um, and working with that energy and finding your inner tiger and bringing those gifts forward, not to say that they are not completely beautiful. And I'm so full of gratitude for everything that I've learned over the last year. But specifically, kind of over this eclipse energy and in certain work that I've been doing with myself to anchor in my foundation more and more every single day, there have been so many changes in my life. And I really feel like, kind of holding on to the seat a little bit, like, oh my God, the ride's a little bumpy right now, guys. And being able to move through this eclipse energy into this, summertime full of expression in this way in ceremony feels like such a beautiful opportunity to now, what I feel like personally shed in my own life, I also feel like I'm seeing on a collective level with just generally everybody. Like we are clearing out all of the
Yeah.
illusions, all of the mistruths, to really be able to shed what is no longer serving us. And now being able to come into this Shasta Galactica and really connect with these higher frequency beings to come and assist us in our leveling up, and I feel like that is one thing that I have just had to keep trusting through this process, is that I am not alone, and holding on to what I know feeds my soul is going to get me through whatever this is. And I feel like that can resonate on a collective level as well. And it's like, hell yeah, man, we got the green light. Let's tap into this. What are we creating?
what are we
Ah,
creating? Yes. Oh. And that's just it. It's like, I think we're all sort of feeling that, man, we've been in the dregs of it, we've been clearing out, we've been looking at all of our shit from so many different perspectives and lenses. And we've been really, like us personally, us on the collective, it's just been so big. And we're all saying, yeah, new earth, new
New
me,
Earth.
new us. What is this gonna be? And I feel like, we're all feeling this sense of this new sparkly energy that's ready to be giving birth. What is that? Connecting deep with the land. And what are these beautiful crystalline codes that are coming in for us to awaken to and become? And not only that, but let's bring it here in this 3D matrix. This
yeah.
is not about our escapism. This is about going and receiving it and gridding it right here on this beautiful Pachamama and sharing it with all the other earthlings that are trying to figure it out.
Right. Just like Mama Shasta. That's what she's doing. We can learn and watch the way she taps into these codes and grounds them down. And yeah, that was something we discussed for sure in the last conversation, was the importance of staying clear, that how important it is for us to ground
For
throughout the
us to
whole thing.
ground it. And we've come up
Yes.
with a lot of really good ways to do that. Earth mandalas and gridding on the earth and going and making offerings actually in Panther Meadows, right on Shasta, going to those headwaters and singing and making offerings. And really, it's not as much about what can we take from this land as much as it is, let's give back, let's grid, let's really ground these messages and these beautiful frequencies that we receive in ceremony and take them back to the earth and really give back in such a way. Going to the waterfalls, that's such a special place, to go and not only bathe and bask in the falls, but to again give back and grid right into the earth, these frequencies, so that we are creating this new earth and grounding it within ourselves and in our own root chakra. Here we are, see, or you were saying, Delos is considered the root chakra. So yeah, what a great place for us to come and ground
Yeah.
these higher frequencies in.
I feel like another emanation of that imagery and that like the practice is like bringing that soft, gentle love, but that fearless love into those lower vibrational experiences in our lives and those lower vibrational, occurrences that are happening on the planet, and like infusing and holding that light and that love and that gentle, soft knowing
Mm.
and trust, and yeah, bringing that into those realms. Like I had an experience of that yesterday where I felt like something clicked in me. As much as I was having an emotional day, but it was like the embodiment of so much of what I've been learning and, really studying and feeling and researching and mastering the last few years. It felt so present. It was like, oh, this is where this tool comes in and this awareness comes in. Like, okay, here we are at this lower vibrational space because trauma is real and we all get triggered. How can we come back to love and come back to gratitude? Because a problem can't be solved from the same frequency it was created in, right? So like bringing and infusing that love into those experiences and into those moments where it's like, oh shit, fight or flight mode is activated right now. And like, what's the alchemy, the
Right.
integrated alchemy of this experience, and how to like, yeah, bring that light in, and like a little, like the little light, like put the little love
Put
light
the
in.
little light behind your heart. Remember, you have a little light back there.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna draw it for you guys.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Yeah.
And I think, Bobinsana is such an incredible teacher of all of that. When we combine all of these things, the fact that we're there with Telos, the fact that we're grounding these higher frequencies in, not only to our body, but into the earth. And like you say, it's not that the trauma goes away on the earth. It's that now we can, we have something to go back to. We have a frequency that is integrated. And I think Bobinsana is so, so great. And, as we know, Bobinsana is a master plant teacher. And the one thing that's really cool about Shasta Galactica is it's 7 days, and we get to go in and actually do some fasting with this master teacher while we go into, the ayahuasca experience. Oh, I wasn't going to say that, was I? The we weren't going to use the name of the plant medicine on here, but anyway, you guys know what we're saying.
Yeah, the dieta.
Yeah, mamacita, to bring the grandmother together, have these experiences, and be able to really commune with these master teacher plants. Bobinsana bringing that space of, yes, we're in our heart space, and yes, we bring unconditional love. Do you know why? Because we know what clear boundaries are. So with clear boundaries, we can walk this muddy earth and this traumatized earth with our hearts open and with that gentle love and that little light behind our hearts going, hey, don't forget,
Yeah. So
Mhm.
sweet.
So sweet. So, so sweet. So very excited about the idea that we get to do this, 7 days. What?
7 days. Oh my gosh. Do we want to talk a little bit about like what I don't want to say expectation doesn't feel like the
Leave
right
your
word. But
expectations at the
but can
door.
we talk about like maybe, kind of what someone could experience while coming to a gathering, maybe touch on a little bit of the journey work. I wanted to share just a bit of like how journey work in and out of a ceremonial context has like really helped guide me in my life, specifically from the um from the journey work that we did in tiger medicine, one of the gifts that I received from the Tiger King was the gift of the hunt. And I interpreted that as the gift of nutrition, of understanding what to put in my body. And here we are, you know, a year later, and I've been dealing with this chronic allergy condition that I've been able to correct with food. And it's just crazy how the information from the journeys kind of weaves itself back in, you know, as you are integrating that experience and why those messages came up.
Right.
Beautiful.
And I think, you know, that's a really very beautiful point. And as far as like what we can really think in terms of like, you know, itinerary and just in general, what, you know, obviously our theme here is activating our highest frequency, connecting in with these highest frequencies of our star beings and illuminate ourselves. So how do we do that? You know, yeah, we go to plant medicines in our, we will have 4 ceremonies in a 7-day time. So that's a lot. And during those days, we'll do some fasting. So that's another thing to be aware of, that, you know, we're fasting with these medicines and we're drinking the tea of Bobinsana. And so it's very light. And the days that we are not fasting, it are the days that, you know, we'll still be doing that shaman's dieta that is based on the master shaman's dieta from the Shipibo tradition that I've learned. So that's, you know, no fat, no salt, no drugs, no alcohol, no sex. It's like we're coming in clean, 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 right? So as we start thinking about some of the things that we go, all right, so I've gotten this message from this ceremony and I've gotten this message from these plant medicines. How do I expand on that? How do I anchor that in? And I feel like that's some of the things that, you know, the 3 of us have come up and worked in our itinerary and some how we can support everybody during the days, right? And so, yeah, we talked about our field trips, grounding in, going to the falls, going to the headwaters, going up to Panther Meadows, really experiencing the land and the groundedness and giving back and making grids and making earth mandalas, you know, just really, really deeply connecting, but also connecting to this physical body through somatic experiences. And we've talked about, you know, medicine dance, but we've also talked about bringing that Merkaba, you know, that energy of the soul, you know. Sierra was talking a lot about the Ka body, right? And that is, well, your Ka body is a part of the Merkaba, the soul part of your body, connecting, making sure that your soul is home and using chi frequencies, using movement to actually call in what is it that we're coming into in these higher dimensions. You know, are we calling this higher frequency of who you are in your highest timeline? You know, let's anchor that in, let's bring this in, and let's anchor it in through these movements: intuitive movement, medicine dance, Merkaba chi movements. These kinds of things are really very, very, very important that we will do throughout the day. We also have, you know, vapor baths that are also very, very important in, you know, we're kind of sounding like the medicine journey with the grandmother is, you know, oh, but we all know there's also whoa. Whoa, that was some stinky shit I just let go of, right? Or, you know, the past, the trauma, the things that, you know, like we were saying earlier. Well, what is that that's blocking us from our highest frequency? We better let that go in the bucket. So, you know, these vapor baths are insanely beautiful to be able to get the rest of that energy that's not serving you. Oh, shit. The funky funk. Get the funk, funk, funk. Yeah, these vapor baths are great. It's pots of herbs that are heated up, and we go in and we, you know, we cover up with a blanket. It's like a a mini sauna, basically, that we're going in and clearing out, and the love baths.
So
Meow.
good. Yeah.
Meow. Love baths. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that, we have on this itinerary to be able to support one another. And of course, the music is always, the biggest thing. Having, I think, the ability to group share, workshop, however way, play shop. We're emphasizing play in this, the play Yetis.
The Pleiades.
Hey.
Yup.
Yeah, it's time to play at ease. How many of us really do play in everything that we do? Do you bring that childlike wonderment in? And so, this play, um, and thinking about workshop, play shop of light language itself, let's dive into that,
Mhm.
really diving in and exploring what each of us have, not just the three of us, but everybody that attends. How do you express light language? And so when we think about what is light language, well, this is frequency.
Yeah.
Okay? So when we start thinking about all of the energies and the frequency that we're anchoring in on this new earth, and we're accessing timelines and we're accessing dimensions where we reside in our highest space, and we're going to try and bring this in, and we're going to anchor this in. A lot of times these frequencies come in and they are beyond our limited box of language, and they come through tones, sounds. So this is what language is, right? So we all have the ability to access that. So I'm excited for that part.
Yeah, I'm such a deep believer in the power of sound and intention, like for us to be able to heal our souls and our bodies. And so, yeah, planting those seeds via our voice into our beings, into our bodies, into our cells, that we may show up as emanations of this new earth consciousness and representatives, and cleaning, cleansing, clearing, and healing our bodies with the tones that we allow, and creating, yeah, a playful, judgment-free space to just explore that, because that's like a not a very common thing, so giving everyone a
No
space to do
kidding.
that and be witnessed in it, and be beautiful.
And learn
Excited.
how do we play in our life in every moment, and show up and be co-creator in our life every single day, and how can we do it playfully with grace and ease.
Yeah. Oh, play with God.
I love it. Yeah. And it's so true. And I think that, when we think a lot of times of, doing the soul work, sometimes we kind of dread it, right? Especially if we have a backpack filled with trauma, you know, trauma that's not really been looked at or loved up on, in a great way. And so coming into, like you say, a judgment-free space where we can unload that backpack. Yeah, it's big work, but it doesn't have to be without playfulness. It can be with a sense of joy. It can be with a light heart and the light at the back of your heart.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that this is so important in the process of healing too.
absolutely.
I'm stoked.
Me too.
August 13 through 19, Shasta Galactica. Feeling the call? I know you are. And, the thing about it is, um, that I kind of go into the logistical part, guys. And so, for me, in the logistical part is, yeah, I know that a lot of people feel this calling, and a lot of people um, are going to go, oh, yeah, that's me. I feel that resonance. I'm not sure what the heck they're talking about all the way, but there's something in your heart that you're feeling, oh, I gotta be there. So the space, I don't want to say is limited, but the time frame is where we always get a little, kind of, we have to think about, because we go into spaces that we have to reserve, we've got to think about that part in the logistics. So we need deposits to come in so that we can reserve our place. We can work with you on payments after your deposit is in, so that it makes it with grace and ease. The payments need to be paid in full prior to you coming to ceremony. We have really worked the budget in such a way that, I don't know, we're really just trying to make it reasonable for everybody. We're not trying to break the bank, and none of us here are, this is not our money makers or whatever, but we really feel so called to hold this space and be in this space with everyone. So I feel that, I don't want you to feel like the money should stop you. Don't let scarcity mentality stop anybody from coming. All of everybody who's listening here, do not let the scarcity mentality get you. We've been able to get a whole week in a budget for $2,500. Woo, baby. That isn't that exciting? I mean, I really have to give us a big round of applause for that. We really massaged that and worked that, and so that's an opening for 8 people. Okay, so we have openings for 8 people, and so we're very so excited to share this. And I know that there's going to be, more than 8 people that want to come, and that's always the problem, you know.
But I feel like it always comes together, an integrity and right relationship. And if it doesn't align with you right now, currently, doesn't mean that it's, not ever going to be possible. It's just the timing of things, and understanding the synchronicities of this life. Like, if it's supposed to happen, we trust that it will happen and
Hey,
will unfold as it should,
Yeah, and choosing it too allows the universe to show up and support that
collude
too.
with us, right?
Yeah.
Once we say yes, boy, oh boy, stand by, right? Yeah. Once we say yes, the universe colludes, and sometimes we have no idea how it's going to make manifest, but it just does. So, so yeah, this part is very exciting, and the logistics are what's always, the budgeting and all of that stuff are always my little linear headache. In the linear, in this 3D form. Um, Not really a headache. I'm only kidding. It's just numbers, right? It's just ones and zeros. Yeah. So, no, yeah, I think it's a really important thing to really put it out there, that we're not trying to limit, but there is only 8 spaces, so it is what it is. Get your deposit in. I'm gonna feel like one of those slick card sales. Get your deposit in now.
Means here, like the dancing, like
And I don't mean to sound like that, but the fact is that there really is only 8. There's only 8 spaces, and it is what it is. So if you want to come, get your deposit in. Yeah. Trust the process is a really big piece too, trust in the process. So I want to know, I'm going to switch gears for a second because it just came in the frequency. I just got this frequency to talk about instruments. What's your
Yeah.
favorite instrument to use besides your voice to resonate with the star beings?
Are you
I have my
asking me?
crystal bowls.
The bowls, yeah, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
balls are good. Drums and
Yeah.
I was actually thinking about that. I was thinking about like what really taps me in and gets me there.
yeah.
Love.
What does? What
Well,
gets
I
you?
was just thinking about like drums and rattles and those really earthy instruments. And so in my mind, I was kind of seeing this separation of like earth instruments versus higher frequency instruments. But I was realizing it was just a story that I was telling to myself because those drum patterns are just frequencies to alter the brain waves to be able to connect into that space that's outside of time.
So
So
ancient, yeah.
yeah, I would love to learn how to
Mm.
play a didgeridoo and bring that
That me
too.
too. I
That
can
has
I
been
can
something
circle
that's
breathe. Yeah, I'm calling one in for
circle breath is challenging. Yeah.
yeah, not there
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah. I have a new fun thing that I got this past, actually, just last year. It's called a wind singer. I love that thing so much. It is, yeah, basically sounds like a big hummingbird energy. Here, I'll see if I can get it. I don't know if you guys can sing it, see it. No, not with this out, with the background. Anyway, I can play it. Can you hear it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's such a cool thing. I love that. I love it so much. That and my jaw harp. The jaw harp comes out and that just I don't know. Something
Right,
about it.
there's so many beautiful tools available to us to yeah, just allow them to be an extension of creator moving through. It's really
So
beautiful
true.
gift. Yeah.
Hmm. Sierra, I love, love, love your new, oh my gosh, your new single out, The Codes.
Thank you.
What? So beautiful.
Thank you.
That just the timing of it too, right? With the launch of this and then I mean like it was just like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome.
Right.
Yeah,
I put it up like a month ago just for this day or for the 28th. It just was like, yeah, that's the time that it needs to happen. Mm.
that's amazing. It's so
Yeah.
amazing. I remember us being in Mexico and like I'm not sure if it was just channeling that you were doing or what was happening, if it was an actual song that you just, went totally, off grid or whatever. But it was like this amazing frequency that was both coming from, our galactic family, but also it felt so coming from the ocean. This mix of the, Atlantean, the mix of the
Mm.
whales, the mix of, the Pacific Ocean. It was just so much of this incredible frequency that was so expansive and so beautiful. It's these crystalline, yeah, it was so awesome.
Wow. Thanks for that reflection. I feel that. I felt that. And yeah, it was such an honor having the ocean right there, getting to sing to her and through her and with her. And yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. And I can only imagine when we start resonating and singing together, the three of us in ceremony up in Telos, what that's going to be like. Like, shoo,
Yeah.
woo. We're so blessed. I feel so honored and so blessed to be in this ceremony with you two. I'm so grateful that we get to, combine and come together for such a expansive and telepathic and yeah, all the things. I just feel so honored to be able to do this with you two.
I feel honored
100%
too.
right back at you.
It's pretty amazing. And so, what else do we need to say?
It would be an honor to show up and serve any and all beings who are feeling the call, and definitely feel free to reach out to us. And yeah, we can talk, we can have heart to hearts about it and see if it feels right and in alignment for you. And yeah, looking forward to it and to holding this space together, up leveling. Yeah.
Oh,
Seeding this new word with
let's
so much love.
do it.
It's
Mhm.
time.
It's time. Yeah, it's time. It's time that we come together and we play. It's time that we come together and harmonize our hearts and our voices, and that we all know that we are part of this great, incredible, intelligent weave. The weave that is becoming this new way of being, this new earth, this new us. Yes. Hmm. Really very blessed. Thank you, thank you,
Goodness.
thank you for this day.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
this moment. Thank you for
Thank
the gifts you
you,
bring.
bring
You inspire me
me
to
to
sing.
sing.
Inspire me to sing.
Shout out Max Ribner for that jam.
Shout
He sings
out
it
Max
every night.
Rittner for that beautiful thing. Hey.
Yeah. He told me when I told him we sang it in ceremony, he said that he wrote it on the beach in Hilo on Big Island. I was like, I'm not surprised.
That's beautiful. I'm so
Yeah.
glad that you got to tell him that we sing it.
Yeah.
It brought us through the border, bro. Thank you.
Yeah. Crossing borders.
Yes, crossing borders. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, I just feel so grateful. And I'm grateful that, you guys have tuned in and turned on. And yeah, mwah,
So much love.
so much love. See you in Shasta Galactica, Shasta Galactica. Eh, 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 Shasta Galactica.